Hi. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. And this is the day that Americans come together and celebrate what they call Thanksgiving. When you hear that expression, Thanksgiving, it kind of gives the image of people giving and they're sharing and they're doing it as an expression of thanks for whatever they're thanking for. And when we say Thanksgiving national holiday, it references thanks to one another for protecting one another over the past year, looking out for one another's good, and we are celebrating together. That's a beautiful picture, beautiful picture. But for some strange reason, many of us might not feel that way. Many of us might feel that there's really nothing to be thankful for. And if it is, it's very limited. I think about those who might say they are thankful for being alive. It means the world to them to be alive today. And you think about if they are saying these things, that means they are grateful that they are not dead and probably not looking forward to dying anytime soon. And if you are in that mind thought, you consider the graveyards you might pass when you are traveling to and fro. Hundreds and thousands of individuals that have come and passed on through. Many of them never to be remembered for anything. And even their family line, as we call it, all passed on. And yet we're all connected by spirit. We're all connected by blood. These are the kind of things that were on my mind today when I think about even today as we celebrate and say thanks. There are those who are in the war rooms strategizing what pain and what suffering they are planning to cause to some other individual for one reason or another. It's really amazing how there are those of us who are out here celebrating, rejoicing in the fact that it's something to celebrate, knowing or not knowing that in any given moment, those who are making these and strategizing that's come back to do damage to a part of the population for whatever reason they've given or chosen. And these are willing to accept whatever comes, like we've always done it. Every now and then there might be a revolution, but for the most part, we find some way to wiggle through it. I hear people talking about Joe Biden and how he appeared to acquiesce to the con game that was played by the Republicans. And others look at him and say, well, he just wants to represent who he is. He has been a certain kind of guy, and even in times when it seems the world is against him or not for him, he still wants to be representative of who he is. In other words, when Donald Trump didn't come to his inauguration, he wants to be at Donald Trump's inauguration. He wants to make sure that there's a smooth moving from nowhere until the Oval Office for Donald Trump. Want to make sure that everything is done to make that easy happening when Donald Trump wasn't interested in that, doing that for him. And some people might say that was Joe Biden's big failure. He wanted to be humbled in times when weren't calling for humble. It was time for a jack butt to be calling for a jack butt, and he should have been a bigger jack butt and had been a bigger jackbutt, we could have taken over and then have the Republicans talking about and talking like the Democrats are talking now. Now, honestly, that sounds good. That sounds good to say we're going to go to war. And we got a warrior that's just as good as any other warrior. Well, the truth of this matter, ladies and gentlemen, is this. This war was about lying. This war was about cheating. This war was about deception. This war was about hatred. This war was about racism. This war was about bigotry. And many are being bombed and killed and just inhuman. Yes, that is the way that this Thanksgiving is taking place even today. And so Joe Biden would still want to maintain that character, which is Joe Biden. And I can understand that. I'd also say, like as I would say to anybody, don't argue. Because when you argue, someone is going to try to hurt you. That if they will hurt you physically, you know they will hurt you when it comes down to words, and they're going to try to find something that will really piss you off and go at your crow. And if you're going to play this game with them, chances are, if you're going to play it, you want to end up being the winner at that conversation. So regardless of how low they go, you are going to have to go lower to stand out. And so the thing about going lower to stand out, even though you think you're doing it for all the right reasons, is that now you are the lowest person. You're the seemingly the most heartless person. You won that battle. And that's the way it is with life. So I can see Joe Biden doing what he's doing. I see a lot of people pissed at him though. But see, that's because you're putting it on Joe Biden. That wasn't Joe Biden's job alone. That was the job of you, the people. Joe Biden stands up and does what he is supposed to do. You vote like you're supposed to do. When you put that combination together, you still become a loser, as it were. But that don't mean that the game is over. Because neither Joe Biden nor you have to submit to anything that's disgusting against your real true nature. And if what is coming at you is hell, that doesn't mean you got to act more like hell. You got to act more like heaven. In other words, these people are trying to hurt you. I'm talking to all of you now. I'm talking to people all over the world. These people are trying to hurt you. These people are trying to destroy you. These people are trying to say that you're nobody. These people say you should be disrespected and lie to you and do anything because you're supposed to be tools for their pleasure. But the creative power that is responsible for all existence made it so possible that you don't have to listen to anyone but yourself. And you're blessed if you're able to understand the difference between yourself alone or yourself led by the spirit of the most powerful power. And that power is reflected through you by that which is so much different from the world. We just described the world, but now you're talking about something that leads you that is about peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness. You're talking about stuff that gives you the reason and the opportunity to live your dreams. Suffering for nothing, your needs, your wants, and your desires are met. Causing no pain, no suffering for anyone. Now that's a difference. That's a difference, my friend. But while they over there trying to do that, you can do this. You can do this. They said, what if they start bombing you? I'm going to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to be honest and tell you the truth. If you were that spiritual, if your consciousness had risen to that level, I have to say when people start trying to destroy you, bombing you, and they will do it. You know that. And I just got through talking about not going low because they go low. And if they are trying to kill you and cause you all kind of pain and suffering, they are trying to go low. So, if you decide that you have got to fight this fight the same way, which means in order to be a victor, you got to go lower, lower. And so the same evil that was exhibited and expressed through the aggressor is the same thing that causes victory for the victim, who now is the lowest but a winner. How does that work out? Or what should you do who believes that thou shalt not kill? Who believes that you should turn the other cheek? Should you just laugh, go your merry way, and leave any pain and suffering that must be felt by this aggressor in God's hand? Or what do you do? I would answer this to you this way. Let your conscience be your guide. Some people believe in self-defense, and they must defend themselves. Some people are so advanced that they just can't wait to die. And they're going to do what they do. They're going to represent what they represent, just like Joe Biden. I don't know if Joe Biden having a party with it, but these would be like having a party with, standing up for what's right, turning that other cheek, anything, and waiting for you to take them out, because they see this place. You know, a lot of people, when you talk about hell, they kind of tell you about the ugliest, the most demented stuff you can think of. That's how they describe hell. Well, you who are following the Spirit as I was sharing it with you, this is how you already see the world. You see the world like this already. The worst thing it could possibly be. You recognize that it can get worse, but for you, it is already that. And you can't get out of it anyway at this time unless they give you a ticket. And you doing everything you possibly can, standing up for glorifying righteousness and everything you possibly can. Why? So you can get a ticket. See, the world will change and become better. Or you'll get a ticket. Now, what do you think will happen? If for you as an individual, what do you think will happen? Do you think the world will change just because you've changed? Yes, it will, but I'm talking about the effect of all the rest of the society. Would it change just because you changed? No. So what does that mean? That basically means if you're real, you're going to get a ticket. And a ticket that that you're so excited about. Now, there are people who say, I want a ticket, but then they start hesitant and say, well, I don't know. Well, that's real too. That's real too. This is a part of life. I'm just giving you some options. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm not looking at my timepiece, and I don't have this here. I just wanted to say something to you on this Thanksgiving 2024. The chance to change the world, which involves not just you, but all of us. Or getting a ticket to get out of this hell. To get a ticket to get out of this hell. And if you're talking about, no, I'm going to save that for you for a different time. But this is really good. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this yours. And until next, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.